Welcome to a horror game that's called What Remains of Edith Finch. Just have to know how we start the game. Oh.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Going to start at the beginning with the house.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Whoa. There's a mailbox.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
That is cool.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to...
Yeah, that all makes sense. Mostly everything's a mystery. This looks like a amazing area to have a house. Just like chop down some trees.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
That the house only knows the
The
answers
woods
to.
around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
That makes sense. Yeah, it would be awesome to like live in this area, but like being in like nowhere, but like
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
damn, the house looks nice. Yeah, being
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
living in this area would be nice, but like
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
so what does it unlock? Does it unlock the back door? Whoa.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
So we just crawled through a doggy door?
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Oh, that's...
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
The house looks well
The table
decorated.
was still a wreck from the night we left. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
What's in this box? Oh, how pretty.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Damn.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Drilled what holes?
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Damn, a peep room in the bathroom. That's crazy.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Secret passages?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Behind what door?
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Gerbil.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Well, this is Molly's room.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Gerbil food.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Ooh, fish. Can we eat the fish?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
What about with this? The door.
I kept eating and eating.
Toothpaste?
I ate a lot of things that night.
I hear a bird.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for
A
her.
barn swallow.
And suddenly,
What the hell?
I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
We are tripping on these berries.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
What the hell? Tripping on these berries. Ew.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Come on. I'm eat you for dinner.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was
And
an
what?
owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Teeth nibbling in the grass.
Rabbits.
Come on. Come on, let's eat the rabbit.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Like what? What are we having to find? We have to find something bigger.
A mama rabbit.
A rabbit. Let's kill it. Come on. Yes, we got another one.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What the fuck? Why do we have to eat those berries? Mm. 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 What the hell?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Ooh, fish. What was that? Salmon? Salmon?
I wanted fat, juicy sea.
Oh, it's a seal. Come on. Come on. Hey. Come on.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Ooh, come here, seal.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
What are we now?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
We're on a berry trip right now. This is hella weird.
I was big and moved real quiet.
Ooh.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
There's someone drunk. Ooh, another one. This is hella loud.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross
Damn.
the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have.
What is it?
So I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into another pipe.
What is it? Whoa. Are we in a toilet?
I got closer and closer.
Is this our room? It is our room.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was big again.
Whoa.
I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
You will be delicious. What the?
I'm not sure
Molly.
if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
There's a cat.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a
What's in
stray
here?
kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse. His
What's
wife,
the family
Ingeborg,
curse?
and their newborn son, Johan.
Yeah.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40
Damn.
graves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Orcas Island.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Is that where we're at? There we go.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Yes.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had
Lewis?
already started to memorialize him. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Is this the bathroom?
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
It seems like a weird ass bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh, that makes sense. Whoa.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin,
Grandpa Sam
and that
had a
he never talked
twin.
about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Calvin.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Calvin always wanted to fly?
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Damn.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Whoa.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Whoa.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
Whoa.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Swing.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Damn.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
What is this? Oh. Another secret passageway.
The passages were a pretty tight fit.
There's a lot of passageways in this
They'd
house.
obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Who's this?
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want is to vlog is Barbara stairs on the night we left.
Whoa.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Makes sense.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Dead Cross.
Of all the stories
Dreadful
people wrote about
stories.
Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Whoa.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother,
Walter.
Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles in secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Whoa.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Whoa.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
Damn.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture
Late
show.
picture show.
Hours later,
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah!
What happened?
Okay, I'm coming up. But if this is a trick,
Hmm.
you're dead, Walter.
How do I go upstairs? Oh yeah, there's stairs right here. What the hell? I don't want to go rollerblading right now. Huh. Well, that door open.
Walter, are you there?
Walter.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Whoa.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
There's one right there.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
We're in Molly's room.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
I'm thinking that it's her dad, because her dad lost his hand for going in the saw thing.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Well, how did they go? I mean, where the hell did he go?
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Huh?
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with
Whoa.
her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time.
Damn.
He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Damn.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Where do we have to go now?
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Makes sense. We can't go up there yet. You're going one.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Okay, so let's just go down to the basement, I guess. It's dark as hell. Ah. That's a cool looking key.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Well,
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
it's dark as hell.
I remember asking
Thank
Mom once
you.
about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine.
Then a routine.
That's what kept me sane.
This is a very slow can opener.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
It happens the same.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
That makes sense.
Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just
I'm
stopped.
confused. How many times is this gonna repeat?
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
What happened to your hands?
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
What's in here? Jungle toss.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly
And Molly.
and
Calvin.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
That makes sense.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Yeah, the food is gonna be good.
Or a month. Or a single week.
Eating all canned shit for like
I'd be happy with one meal.
a week or like more.
I can already
That would be
imagine the
awful.
smile on my face.
For some reason I look like something threw up.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was
Eddie,
down.
Stan, Gus, Gregory, Don, Lewis, and Milton.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
That would make sense.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
One or two.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem.
Damn.
Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
I guess we have to go up here.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Yes.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
I'm confused as hell.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems
Yeah, that
off.
makes sense. Maybe we have to go this way.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Yeah.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
And Shadow, Oliver, Christopher, Bob.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Edith Finch, Stephen Finch, Elwin Finch, Molly Finch. Damn. So Galvin lived for like 11 years. Molly lived only 10. Damn.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Aww.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Sam.
Her dad had been
Gus.
pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Lewis.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
That would make sense.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Damn. Oh, there's a letter right here.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Bear rag.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
And
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These
That was
memories will
bright.
last a lifetime.
that was bright as hell.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
There we go.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Oh, shoot the rock.
Aw.
Eat a bird.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hmm.
Hey!
That's a keeper. Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
Damn, it's bright.
You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Makes sense.
Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad,
strong. Great shot, Don. I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Mm.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
What's in here? In a lot of secret rooms.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
We're gonna Duck. Duck. I want the duck.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory.
Whoa.
About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy.
We are we the frog or Gregory?
Be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
No, we're just missing Gus, Don, Eddie, Lewis, and Milton.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
This area looks pretty.
I can't imagine
No,
what
no,
it was
no,
like for her
no.
to lose two sons after
No.
she'd already lost two
No.
brothers.
We had to be up here. Why the hell did I do that?
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Now can I get on here? I don't think I was needing to go down there. Wait a minute. Do I have to go out of the window?
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Lewis, Edith, Milton.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal, but it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie came from the castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Whoa.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family. Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Magic paintbrush. That looks amazing.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Spent 4 months searching for
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
our brother. I'm guessing we have to go up there now.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him.
Oh, that's a hookah.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dawn.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery.
This looks fun.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
What's that?
I asked him to describe it.
Ah.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.